Discipline is easy when you trust yourself, but the problem is that most of us don't. I used to think I was disciplined, wake up early, check my to-do list, hit everything that I need to hit, do the thing that I need to do, make my deadlines, all of the things. I realized for me, I was always reacting out of pressure, never from a vantage point of trust and discipline, like really rooted within my own leadership deep inside of me. That's when I realized something that was so phenomenal for me. It was monumental in helping me to be in an awakening state. And that was, I wasn't disciplined. I was just really good at coping with chaos. And I made chaos look so beautiful and so organized. And a lot of us do that in our lives today. And in that aspect, most people don't have a discipline problem. They have a self-trust problem. And I know you're probably saying, I trust myself, girl. What are you talking about? I fully trust myself. I'm fully disciplined. Discipline, when rooted in trust, creates peace, not pressure. That's what we're getting at here. And most of us are living our lives under pressure. Under pressure. I couldn't help it. Most of us are living our lives under pressure, including myself. In my current state, as I am sitting here talking to you, this is a revelation for me as well, y'all. So I'm going to teach you something that I use in my own life with my own clients, and it's called a self-trust pyramid. It's a 3-tier pyramid. We're going to have a bottom level, a mid-level, and then a top part of the pyramid. Let's break it down. Nobody is better than you. They may be luckier than you because they may have a little bit more knowledge that you don't have. But that can change today. It could change tomorrow. Let's get started. We're going to start with the bottom level, the micro wins. This is how you build daily wins. These are the things that you do on a day-to-day basis that's a win for you. And we're not talking about the extravagant wins, right? The big opportunities. We're talking about the things that you put in every single day that's a win for you, the small things. So you have to build trust with yourself the same way that you expect other people to build trust with you, or the way that you build trust with other people. It's never about the big finale that builds trust with you when it comes to someone else, right? You go out on a date, that guy pulls out all the bells and the whistles. You know, he has this beautiful scenery lined up, and you're at this extravagant restaurant, and he's giving you all of the vibes and the feels and the thrills. That particular thing does not necessarily build trust with you, though. So we're going to focus on the consistent action that person will be putting in every single day to win you over. What are they doing every day? Those little small things that is showing you, that is proving to you how to build trust with them. That's how I want you to focus on the daily wins with yourself. You're going to build trust with yourself. And in order to do this, it really, really is important that you focus on the small wins. So if you said, I'm going to get up at 10 o'clock every day and meditate, you meditated at 10 o'clock every day, you've built trust with yourself. I'm going to get up every day at 7 a.m. and go on a walk. I'm building trust with myself. This is you building trust with yourself. It is standing on business of doing what you say you were going to do on a consistent day-to-day basis. Now, one would say, well, why do I need to do that? That seems very stupid to me. Well, I'm glad you asked. These micro wins for you are like bricks that you stack when you're building a home. And eventually you'll get to a point where you have a final and finished product. And you'll look around and you will say, I did that. But that's not even the great part. The great part is you're building consistent habits. You're building consistent behaviors. And if you can do this thing where you can build trust with yourself every day by doing the small things that you said you were actually going to do and showing up and doing those things with high efficiency, you'll develop habits for yourself that you would not necessarily have had 30 days prior. And then the next time you promise yourself something, you'll be able to execute on that thing almost immediately. There is no wavering, no procrastination, no laziness. There is no going back and forth. There is no chaos. There is no letting their agendas get in your way. No matter what, you are rooted in your discipline because you trust yourself. And that is the highest form that you can go beyond trusting God. And you've proved that whatever it is that you need to do, you are capable of doing it. Now, this also means that you're going to need to set boundaries. Boundaries are going to be the top of your list because it takes prioritizing you over others. And it is okay to be selfish. People think selfishness is just this very negative thing. It's okay to be selfish. How else are you going to win? How else do you think you're going to get to where you need to go? Nobody is going to fill in the gap for you. They're not going to come and step in your place. Who's going to work on you if not you? You need to. It's okay to be selfish. It's not a bad thing like people have conditioned you to believe. So that's the bottom level of our pyramid. We're going to work on the small wins every day. And this is the biggest piece of our pyramid because it takes a lot of effort, intentional and mental reframing, and it's going to take some action, consistent daily action in order for you to do that. Now, let's move on to our second tier of our pyramid, and that is our self-talk. Now, if you were talking to someone and you're always criticizing them, who is always judging someone else and talking bad on them and saying what they can't do, or why would you want to do that? That's too expensive. Like, why didn't you do that? What if somebody always did that to you? It doesn't feel good, right? So we're not going to do that to ourselves. Sometimes, majority of the time, we can be our worst critic, our biggest critic, our toughest critic. And this is where we want to put a halt to that. We want to speak life and joy and vitalizing energy into what we're doing, into who we are. And we want to do this every day. We are going to couple these things together so we don't have to remember to do them. As you're doing one task, you can be doing the second tier as well, which is pouring into yourself, really speaking that life. And it may not feel like it, and it won't feel like it. And I'm telling you from experience, it won't feel like it when you first start this journey. You won't start to feel a change. It usually takes a good 90 days or so, but you'll get there. You're going to start feeling different. Your mind is now catching up to what the physical body is doing. And now we're starting to see evidence of our work that we've put in. So you got to start to speak to yourself like you trust yourself, like you like being you. Like being you is the, like that. You got to start speaking to yourself like that. Like you are that girl. You are that man. Like you're that person. You're meant for that job. Yes, that's you. So you're going to have to start catching your inner language, especially if you're so used to defaulting to a negative outcome or a negative result for you. When things get hard, you start complaining. When you don't have the answer, you start retreating and trying to figure out all the ways of why you are not the person, why you can't do the thing. You're going to have to start catching yourself. Okay. And it's not just to say to remind yourself to not have those thoughts. You don't want to focus on not having those thoughts. You just want to focus on having the greater thought. And then in the case that you have those thoughts, catch yourself and be like, not today. I like to talk to my mind as if it's its own entity. Okay. Even though we're one, I talk to my mind as if it's its own entity. Why you doing this? Girl, what is wrong with you today? We're not doing that. But it helps me. Whatever you need to do in order for you to have a system for you to keep you from falling into self-sabotage, do that. Let's move on to our top tier of our pyramid. And this is going to be the determinant thing that is going to help us to be able to start to really see evidence of the real big shebang that we want to happen for us. This is where you stop worried about what other people think. Sovereign decisions. You're not asking for permission anymore. You're not asking for validation. You're not asking for comfort. You do not care. We're selfish in this pyramid. Sovereign decisions. This is where we set hard, cold boundaries. The whole pyramid is a boundary, but this is where they really, really come in. And this is where you really tell yourself, I am going to step outside and I don't care who like it and who doesn't. If I want to wear this purple skirt and this lime green shirt and these light blue socks and these red tennis shoes, I'm going to do that today. The visual in my mind. I'm going to do that today. And I don't care how she feels about my outfit, how he feels about my outfit, how they feel about my outfit. This makes me happy. It vitalizes me. It supports me on my journey and my mission. And I'm going to do it because I have determined that that's what I want to do. Sovereign decisions. When we think from this place, we're now taking control of our reality instead of giving people control of how we maneuver through our reality. We're stepping in a role that is authentic to who we are instead of conforming to other people's authenticity of what we should be. This is where you have your true power. When you work on the self-talk and then you work on having the daily actions and then you couple that with the sovereign decisions that you make for you, you're unstoppable. You almost become a delusional personality. And in this world, you have to be delusional to get what you want. You really have to be. You have to cut out all noise. You have to cut out all agendas. You have to cut out all the things around you in order for you to be focused on where you're going. And guess what? When you get there, you'll still have haters. So the haters exist either way. Choose sovereignty over self. Don't let anybody else govern you. I want you to always remember that discipline becomes powerful when it is internally led from the inside and not when it is externally forced from the outside. The goal in all of this is to move from reactive to rooted. We're going to ground ourselves in our roots. What is authentic for us, that's what we're going to do. So we're moving from being controlled to being called, stepping in our fulfillment, from being urgent in someone else's process to being anchored in our own. That's what we're doing. So let's address some common excuses that will make its way into your atmosphere as you are on this journey and you're walking through your pyramid. I don't have time will be one of the biggest ones that you face. It's a lot of things going on in your life right now. There will always be a lot of things going on in your life, FYI. And you can't see how to fit just one more piece into this puzzle. It's full already and you don't have any more capacity. That will be an excuse that you will tell yourself. Because the reality of it is you don't need more time. You just need to learn how to manage the time that you already have. You don't need any more time. You just need more truth about what you want, who you are, why you're doing it, and if it is important to you. And I, again, referring back to the pyramid. The second thing that will stop you dead in your track is, again, self-talk. I always mess things up. I don't know how to do this. This thing is not right for me. This thing, I gotta find somebody to help me. I don't know what I'm doing. Those things of not feeling like you are worthy enough to go and seek out the resources for yourself, like you're not self-sufficient enough to learn the thing, like you're not designed to have the thing that you want, will stop you dead in your track, because you'll start to believe it. You have to tell yourself, okay, cool. This is what I got. These are the cards that I'm dealt. This is what I want to do. What is my knowledge level on this? What do I need to learn? How do I learn these things? The main thing that you should know is that patterns can always be rewired. So the way that you learn to do something the first time and how that happened for you, it does not matter. You can relearn it and do it a different way for this time and the next time and the next. And that very last thing that is a common excuse as to why people do not exercise a discipline that they need to and trust within themselves is they feel like they're just not motivated. They can't get out of bed. They don't have the energy. I lack something within my spirit. I just can't do this thing right now. Girl, motivation is a mood. And if you don't feel like doing it, you won't. And then when you feel like doing it, you will. You don't need me to motivate you to get up and do the thing that you said you wanted to do. You're just not in the mood. You're not in the mood to deal with all that it encompasses. You feel like you don't have enough to make a quality action on information, knowledge, opportunities, resources, relationships, money, whatever. Motivation is a mood, and you don't need to be motivated. And we don't need to be moody in this equation. If what we want and desire in our life is important to us, then we will get up and just do it. And if you have the absence of something that is needed in order for you to do the thing, then you will go out and you will find it. That's called being resourceful. And you don't need anyone to tell you how to do that. We have a multitude of AI systems out here for you to use. In 2025, there's literally no excuse. There is no excuse for anybody not to take action. You don't need to be motivated. That's just the mood that you're in. You need to take action and stop being lazy and have discipline within yourself and start trusting that you have the ability and the capability to do the thing, because you do. Woo! All right, I'm done preaching at you today. I'm done preaching at you today. So here's my challenge for you. I challenge you to not grab your phone within the first hour of the day. Hard for us to do. I know, me too. I'm working on it. Don't grab your phone in the first hour of the day. Sit there in meditation and go into prayer, and then think about everything that you want to do and use that time for prayer, meditation, journaling, and like ideation, like coming up with ideas, figuring out how you're going to maneuver through the day, what needs to be handled first, second, third. Put yourself on a list so that you can stay organized and structured. Limit your social media time to not being consumed, only tapping in to stay up to date, only if you have a business. If you don't have a business, limit your social media time entirely until you're able to work on yourself in a way where you're satisfied. If you don't have a business and you're on social media as a consumer, This is where a grand deal of your problems in your life arise, because one thing that you don't understand is social media takes your attention, and wherever your focus is, that's the sum of your life. I can't tell you how many people that I know, when I audit them in my coaching sessions, I audit them and I tell you, every single time you pick your phone up, you got to text me. For whatever reason, you have to text me and tell me why you picked it up. For one of my clients, she picked her phone up over 100 times in a day, and over 60 of those times she picked it up to check social media. And I can tell you by her time tracking, she spent hours out of the day on social media scrolling. Because the scroll is meant for us to be addicted. It is meant for us to have our time and attention consumed. But if you're on social media and you're a consumer 90% of the time that you're on there, 50% of the time that you're on there, then how much of your time have you wasted? And then it goes back to the pyramid and the questions and the common excuses of I don't have time. If majority of us put our phones down during the day, we'll find the time. Trust me. So make it a habit to not pick your phone up in the first hour of the day when you first get started. And here's why. The second you pick that phone up, all of your determination and productivity goes right on down. Because it's not intentional. We don't intentionally try to get stuck on the apps. It's just that one thing was cute and one thing was funny and one thing was dramatic. And hold on, Nicki Minaj is beefing with SZA. Here we go. Now we're here, and it's been 2 hours, and in 2 hours we could have read that book that was going to help us to be able to learn that thing that we needed to learn in order for us to produce and accurately execute. That's how dangerous this attention economy is. It takes from you and you don't even see it. And 5 years go by and you're trying to figure out, where did my time? What happened? And the crazy thing is, it's taking your attention and your focus. So now it's taking your opportunity to create. And now it's taking your opportunity to contribute. And that's taking your opportunity to produce. And that's taking your opportunity to make more money. We're trying to minimize that. Not making more money, but the distraction. So we want to limit our phone use. First hour of the day. Pray, meditate, understand clarity within our mind, journal if we have to, whatever you need to do to start getting yourself in a great mood. For me, if you want to take my particular routine, I get up in the morning, I open my eyes, I lay there. Sometimes I don't open my eyes at all. I'm just awake and I'm just laying down. And when I'm laying down, this is the time where I'm reflecting. I'm reflecting on how I slept. I dream a lot. I'm an vivid dreamer. I wake up, so I go through my dreams with myself. Like, is my subconscious trying to say, like, I have this thing that I do. I just talk myself through my dreams. My dreams tend to come true. That's a whole nother situation. But I walk myself through my dreams every morning. I wake up for about the first 5 minutes trying to make sense of it. Then I go into meditation. Meditation sends me into prayer because I calm my mind before I talk to God. Prayer helps me to be able to get out all that I am keeping in so that I can accurately produce for the day. I get up, I stretch, I do take care of my hygiene, I go downstairs, I look at my calendar, I figure my day out for the day. Then once I have taken care of me, I've got my tea and all of my stuff, then I give people my time. Whatever works for you, but that's what works for me. So I want you to drop in the comments and tell me what is going to be one micro win that you're going to focus on over the next 7 days. Just 7. And then once that 7-day timeline stops, that don't mean that you stop, but it is something to get your mind going. Have a challenge with yourself. Tell me what is going to be one micro win you're going to do for the next 7 days and how you feel that this is going to contribute to a total well-being of your life. How is it going to help you? I look forward to reading those. Discipline is truly about trust. Trusting in yourself and trusting in your ability to get the thing done, and trusting in your capacity, trusting in your faith, in your strength, trusting in doing the thing that you said you were going to do. It's self-dependability. It is self-actualization. It is self-accountability. Discipline is rooted within self. And once you understand that, you'll be able to get so many things done. All right, y'all. This ends our episode for today. I'm Nicole Swanson. If you like this episode, subscribe, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and come back and see me on the next one. Bye.